What's going on, guys? Welcome in. Good evening. Hope you guys had a good trading day. We'll get started in a minute. What's going on, guys? We'll get started soon. Today was a good day, honestly. Friday was a little choppy. Today was a very clean session. A lot of easy setups today. Yeah, QQQ, Tesla, Apple. I mean, basically anything. All you had to do was just long today. Today was a trending day. Pretty clean action. As long as you weren't trying to short, today was easy. All right, we can go ahead and get started. Welcome in, guys. There's another episode of Stock Tuesdays. Today's a great session, to be honest. Market pretty much shrugged off any negative headlines, or rather, market just ignored any of the bad news, and that is usually a bullish sign. So market opened compared to Friday's close. We opened bullish today, and we reclaimed all of the lost supply that we had last week, and opening dip and rip. So pretty clean. 584 on SPY, pretty solid, and all you had to do was buy the dip. They were running cycles in the algo, so some names like Apple, Meta, they were lagging, and then when SPY hit resistance, these names started picking up steam, and it was a beautiful day. Tomorrow's setups, all market looks very nice for tomorrow also. So hopefully, whatever this price is, it keeps holding overnight, and there's no more crazy news that happens overnight. As long as that is the case, tomorrow we should be able to get some clean action. So let's go and get started. If you guys are just joining in, I appreciate if you can hit the like button, subscribe if you can. It'll help me with the algo, and we'll go ahead and get started in the meantime. So first thing I want to do is talk about the setup that I took today. Apple, I mean, pretty much at the same time I longed Apple, I had SPY side by side. So SPY 584 bounds or something that I was watching, and that was another long I did parallelly. The reason I chose Apple was because it was a very beaten down name, right? And Friday's sell after our sell, right? It did not continue. So we did gap up above Friday's highs, and that was one of the signs that I wanted, right? So when we drop back down here, this 197.50, right? And we've started wicking. That's when I said, hey guys, let's just get in. Let me go move to the 5-minute time frames here, so you guys can see this pretty clearly, right? So there was just a gap and go timing with SPY. You needed to get the direction right, which is pretty much the main thing. I would have long Tesla. I had Tesla exposure also, but I just didn't signal that because Mike and Brett were watching that, and I didn't want to get in, overcrowd that setup. So I was watching this particular name in parallel with SPY. So Apple opened here. We tested around that 199. We dropped all the way. Premiums are holding pretty well. We dipped under this 198, which was what I wanted to see. We got filled, and the moment I saw that these candles were holding here, and we got a reclaim, this was the add point, and it was a little choppy because, like I said, SPY and many other names were leading right at the open. So Apple, Meta, Microsoft, they were not participating in the opening rally of SPY, right? But what happened was when this move happened and consolidation cleared out, many of the other names in the market paused, and Apple, Meta, and other names took over rotation, right? So money was flowing in here in the second half of the session after 10:30, and we pretty much just ripped right off that, right? And this was a very good trade. Contracts actually did 50-60% or something like that. I personally caught like maybe 40% of it, but this was a good setup as well. And let's look at some more charts. Tesla was on the watch, that 350, pretty clean open, right? Pretty clean. We just broke our pre-market highs, retested here, and gap and go, right? So this was, I didn't have a lot of size on this Pesta trade. I did take this. I had like 15 contracts on this. Reason being, really don't like taking these kinds of overcrowded breakout trades right at the open, because you really don't know what the risk defined is, right? So in the case of Apple trade, I was able to put a lot more size because I know what the bottom was and I saw the risk defined. So literally 3 or 4% was my downside risk, and I can easily put on like heavy size, because in the case I'm wrong, I lose a small amount. If I'm right, which I was today, basically making 1:10 of my risk, right? 1:10 risk reward. So those are the kind of trades I like putting in size, not the one that like drive. This was a very good return though. On the momentum, you can take this on the retest. You could have traded it here, and over here there was a retest of this high as well. You could have taken this. I think this is when Aristotle signaled this. So this was a nice entry here as well, right? So basically we just retested the opening first pullback here area, resistance turn support. Okay, so it's a nice setup here. Day 2 action, maybe it will be very strong. Maybe if we can take this off of the same, you guys can clearly see this demand forming here, right? So this is the zone. Tomorrow you could probably watch for a bounce if it does, like gap up and retest this area. This is an area where you can potentially try to take this. Assuming this holds, right? We gotta wait and see what tomorrow's actions like, but most names rallied today, so it's a easy day to bounce tomorrow if these setups can hold. All right, another chart I like for tomorrow, you guys already know. So today I actually said load these contracts. The problem was today is that these Meta was one of the laggers, right? Now you guys know I took a shot off of that 6:30 on Friday last week, so you can clearly see this here. 6:30. This was the shot that worked, and today we basically just retested. Same setup as Apple. We retested Friday's low and then gapped and kind of just ripped. Now I really want to see 643, 645 area cleared for tomorrow. So if this happens right at the open, we are going to go long on this. You guys can see there's been so many consolidation here. Single day, second day, third day. Today is the fourth day. Okay, so this looks juicy for tomorrow. 645. If we can clear this, we need a strong convincing candle clear, and we can take it on a retest. I mean, these kinds of ranges, someone said they made money on shots. Yeah, you can make money on shots here, shots as well. This 640, same 643, 644, today it failed. But again, tomorrow if it clears this, we have 3 days, 4 days worth of consolidation. This will be a nice move back into 655, 660. So this is a setup on the breakout that I'll be watching tomorrow. For short side plays, this could also flip bidirectionally. So again, we want to see this level lose here. So 635, 633, if it loses, we could go back into Friday's sell zone, which is 625. For continuation to the downside, you want to see this lose 620, which is not that far away, to be honest, right? It's like maybe 2.5%, 3% to the downside is that range. But considering it's uptrending, this is a name you can really look at this, right? This consolidation, there's a lot of lines here, but this consolidation can break to the upside pretty cleanly as well. So more to come on this. You guys will know if I signal this or not in the chat tomorrow. We'll wait and see what happens. Nvidia earnings, I'll just look at the chart for a bit. Nvidia Wednesday earnings, it's not participating a lot these past week or so. Just pop and fade, pop and fade. It looks pretty ominous for liquidity grabs here. It just looks like they just want to offload at higher prices. I'm not particularly too bullish on this particular name, mainly because of what I know about the sector and what's happening fundamentally. But it's all about news, right? So after earnings, if they come out and say something is looking good, maybe there's China news saying that there's no more chip restrictions because about 25% of their revenue is being affected because of the current chip restrictions by the Trump admin. Maybe there's some update there, maybe not, who knows. But we'll also, many of these semiconductor names are also, have a close tie-up with Nvidia's numbers, because what the market will be looking for is, um, if the demand for chips, is it still the same what it was like last year, right? Q4 of last year, or is this changing? Okay, so this is something to keep a close eye on. Wednesday after hours, I will not trade this tomorrow. I will not trade this Wednesday morning as well. Wait, tomorrow is Wednesday. I keep thinking today is Monday. So tomorrow after hours they're reporting, right? So so we'll not trade this tomorrow. After hours in the report, we'll be able to likely trade it on Thursday and then Friday. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to this, because this week it's all about, like, as long as we get like momentum, we'll be able to make money. As long as they don't chop us in a small range, we'll be fine. We are in a good range. Market's moving well, so I don't really have any concerns, even if uh, Nvidia and many chips names are untradeable for tomorrow. If you guys are just joining in, welcome guys. I just went over the setups that we took today. If you missed it, you can watch it. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel. It will really help me, and I appreciate your support as always. All right, so let's look at another chart that I like, which is Microsoft. This is in my radar for has been for a while now. This chart, if you guys can look at it, is super strong, right? So there was the good earnings move here, right? This is when May 25, over here they reported earnings. What is not May 25? It's May 1st, right? May 1st they reported earnings. We had a small flag, continuation, a week long of choppiness, a breakout, retest, held, and then popped off again. Even when we had the news, they did not sell. When the bond news dropped, they did not sell as much. We kept dropping and then bounced off of the same 4-hour level, right? And then popped again, retested the same 4-hour level, and then popping up again. Okay, so what pattern do you guys see here? Every time we test 4-hour demand and it holds, the stock reverses. Okay, something, a teaching moment for you guys here, right? Every time we test a 4-hour consolidation area, the stock reverses. So this gives us another bi-directional trade opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to draw a level here. So this area here, 4-hour, here it is, right here. So 458 here, 456. Okay, so these two levels, remember this tomorrow. If we can pop 456 is today's low, and it also coincides with the previous 4-hour level, and then 458 is the current high that we broke, and this 4-hour level here. Okay, so what we want to see is, if we do break this level, let's say flush and reclaim, whatever, we can go long on this setup. But alternatively, this is another bidirectional opportunity. The reason I say that is because every time we tried to break the 4-hour structure, we held it, right? Ever since they reported earnings, May 1st onwards. So although we have held structure, this hasn't really moved as much. So we basically were been hovering from May 1st to May 28th tomorrow. The stock's been ranging in a $15 range. Now that's not a lot. So you can look at it two ways. This is holding strong structure, or you can say that every time it's breaking out, it's still struggling to create momentum and free flowing action. Okay, so you can look at it two ways. All-time high is 468, which is literally $6 away. So this is what we want to see. If 4-hour supports hold, we are going to go long. If they flip, we can go short side. Okay, so right now we're still in like that unreadable territory, but when momentum and markets free flowing, I'll be watching this. Okay, so 456, 458, keep an eye. These are the two levels that we want to hold, or we want to see flip for a short side trade. All right, and I already went over Tesla. Did I? I think I did, right? Tesla, let me see. I think I did, yeah. Yeah, so this is the level that we broke out today. So tomorrow, this 354, 356 bounce level on watch for maybe an opening trade. Let's see. Tomorrow we'll see how big of a gap up we'll have pre-market, and then we can go with that. Let's look at some comments here. Meta short. How do you define Apple's bottom levels? I mean, it's Friday's high, man. I just went over that. So Friday's high, we reclaimed that. So that is an area. Basically, we did a retest. So if you go to Spice chart, that 584 was on the dot. I think I was 20 cents away or 30 cents away or something like that. A long SPY right at the bottom today when I had Apple exposure. It was honestly SPY moved much better initially, and I was like, maybe I should have just signaled SPY. But then Apple, from a risk reward standpoint, was so much better because it really picked up. Now, honestly, Apple would have been a great swing trade because if tomorrow we get another gap up move, right? This could really go into 202, 204, and we had the 200 calls, so we could have easily go in the money. So if we can somehow clear these areas here, right, 202, 203, this can easily go back to the previous supply around 207, 208. So this is going to be a very, I don't know if we'll have an entry opportunity tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. And for short side trade, we want to lose this 4 hour candle here, this 1 hour candle, this breakout that we caught today. Under 198, I like it short. If it can get below today's area, basically where we entered, we could go short on this. And again, downside moves pretty clear, but we'll see tomorrow. Honestly, today I like the tape because at the open they were buying it and levels were good, but we'll have to wait and see. Amazon. Okay, let's look at Amazon. Um, yeah, it actually looks nice. You guys can see the consolidation, right? Big move here. Let me draw a little trend line here for you guys so you can see this. It's pretty nice. So basically, today was again all you today was so easy, guys. Honestly, we today this was Friday's high. We retested Friday's high and popped. As long as you were long anything today, today was like one of those things where like every idiot would be green. It's that easy today. Today, honestly, if you are red, you need a lot of homework. Today was such an easy day. It was all you had to do was just trade the trend long EMAs and you would have been fine. The same concept here. Friday's highs was around this 202. We basically gapped down and then pretty much went to highs. So tomorrow you want to see a continuation about this 207. So if 207 breaks, next level is 209, 210. And this is breaking out of the descending channel here. So this looks good to retest highs if market can form a trend. You guys can see this, right? The EMS are starting to curl to the upside here. EMS were going up, flipping down, and now they're curling back up again. So ideally, you want to see these levels hold, and then tomorrow for a breakout trade about this 207. Okay. AVGO, I would not recommend trading, guys, because Nvidia is reporting earnings. So got a semiconductors conductor names. You want to wait and see. AVGO is back to that same supply level before we had that big sell-off. Again, based on what Nvidia says, this will either be an exit liquidity event or maybe it'll be a continuation event. So we'll have to wait and see. So everyone that bought here 130, they're almost up 100%. Okay. Now, hopefully for long-term holders, this just goes. But if it doesn't and we hear something bad, this could easily drop back down here to 180, 185. So tomorrow, it all hangs on Nvidia. After hours, tomorrow, honestly, market could be choppy because of for that one reason. Today, we kind of gapped up. Tomorrow, we want to see some of these levels hold. But market could also be very muted after the first hour because everything is just kind of hinging on Nvidia. Meta already went over Meta. Bidirectional setup 945. It's been on my watch for a few days now. And today I had to load the contracts, but basically we did the retest of Friday's high and then popped. If we lose today's low, back under bearish play for Meta, but right now it's in bullish territory. Netflix, very nice trade today. I didn't trade it personally because I was too many long positions. I didn't want to trade Netflix, but reclaim of that 1200 worked out pretty well. It's an all-time high territory, so we have to wait and see how this continuation or not. Honestly, to be honest with you guys, I don't really like trading Netflix start of the week because premiums are way overpriced and contracts are not going to move as much, especially with the spread. I really like trading Netflix post Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are the 3 days that present as good risk reward versus on these contracts. You guys are just tuning in, hit the like button, guys. Any other questions, guys? I'll go. I think I went over most charts. If there's any other specific trading related question, think about stop loss, risk, something like that. If you trade over previous day's highs, what would the risk be? I mean, when you're doing previous day's highs, lows, and whatnot, you want to see level confirm. Your overall direction needs to be right. So the only reason today's levels worked is because SPY held at 584. If SPY lost that 584, next level is 582, and honestly, it would have been too top heavy for market to recover all of that. So it would have been actually a choppy day or maybe a sell day. So the only reason most of these long setup work, right, is because SPY was holding. Now think about this: Meta, Apple, Amazon, so many names, right? That Netflix that trusted the previous Friday's day's high and then bounced. The SPY actually dropped $2 more. Think about it. They would have gone under the previous day's range and would have triggered more sell side move. So today, because those levels held, because SPY held, a lot of these weaker looking names, including Apple, was able to hold and kind of squeeze out shots to reclaim highs, right? That is why it was a good risk reward setup. Okay, they were buying, but also because SPY was holding, right? You could have easily been bagged in and become exit liquidity if you just look at one level and think that, oh, it will just work. You have to factor in a few things. You need to factor in overall direction of the market, timing, and wait for levels to confirm before you commit risk. You can't be just getting into position thinking, hoping it will work and whatnot. You have to wait for levels to confirm, and then you have to enter. How many positions trade you max out? I mean, honestly, maybe I always trade SPY or QQQ, not QQQ, mostly SPY. It's all about getting direction right? So if I'm wrong, I'm going to be wrong anyway. So you get exposure, you have levels to confirm, and then I define risk. Now the only cool thing about SPY is um, SPY had great ranges today and levels confirm. Once I saw that 584 was holding and we reclaimed 585, I just committed risk there. $1 risk there on SPY, and I kept moving trail stop, and honestly it just kept ripping. Today SPY was a clean move. There was no reason to get out, stop out, nothing. Look at this SPY chart here, right? The only problem is if people tried shorting, dude, I didn't even like short anything. I just like kept holding. In fact, every dip that came into the 80 MN, 13 EMI, I just kept longing it today. I actually traded quite a while today. The only place that looked like a decent shot was that 591.50 area. You guys remember from last week? I hope you guys do. So this was an area where we had a sell here, 591.50, and we retested 590 to rip again, right? So it's pretty easy today. Nothing doing. It was probably a misprint. This is nothing. We had one on last week also. So this week was just a misprint. How do you get good at overcoming nerves while trading? Have a plan, follow a plan, don't deviate from the plan. Win or lose. You only become nervous when you don't know what you're doing and when you don't have an entry plan and exit plan. So the moment you enter a trade, always know what you're going to do, whether you're going to add, whether you're going to exit. Just have a plan and follow the plan. The good thing is, if you feel nervous, if you feel like you stop sitting, you can exit, think, and then if market presents a re-entry opportunity, maybe there's a wick or something like that, you can enter. There have been many times when I'm in a trade, I'll be down just 5%. I might not be confident. I might want to wait and see what happens. I would exit the trade, and then 5 minutes later, I'll get filled again. Right? I've done that many times. The thing is, if you're right about a trade, you're going to make like 30%, 50%, 100%, whatever, right? So you're not going to miss out on much if you get your confirmation. What you want to confirm is how much you're risking. This matters a lot more when you're trading with size, because I have seen like so many. I'm 100% sure there were some people that woke up today and wanted to just short the market. Oh, look at this, it just sold. Let me just buy the dip here. Let me short here at pre-market low. Let me short at pre-market high, and they would have just become exit liquidity. Most names were so strong today. The tape was so strong today. All you had to do was just like long plays, and but I'm sure a lot of people got caught trying to short this move as well. So you can't keep doing that. Okay, you can't do predictions. You can't do any of those things when you're trading. The more you do that, you're gonna run the risk of making mistakes and getting big losses. How do you confirm or have confirmation with trades? Your levels holding. That's it. Today, if you guys follow how many of you followed me on Apple? Put a me if you guys took that Apple trade with me. Now, what did I tell you guys? I said I entered here around this area. I entered that trade. Now I said, guys, I want to see this 175.50 hold, and I said that I want 198 reclaim. Once 198 reclaim, I said you can add size if you want, and then we'll have a stop right under. Okay. I will tell you this important thing. The thing about good setups is if you have a level and the level holds and it keeps holding, then you have no reason to exit the trade. Okay. The best setups that I've taken always respect levels. They won't even like try to fake you out or whatnot. No, that is the kind of setups that you want to hold. Okay. Now, if you see that your levels are not holding and something's going against you, and no matter what you try, it looks like damn, it doesn't want it. Maybe that's not a good setup then. Okay. Maybe that's not, if the market keeps proving you wrong that, oh man, it's not working, don't try to make up reasons to stay in the trade. Better yet, just cut your loss, cut quickly, and then maybe if market gives you a reason to re-enter, enter the trade. Okay. Sometimes you got to just go with the market, right? You got to go with the market. Don't try to predict. Don't try to outsmart it. If the market's giving you some kind of signal saying that, hey, this level's weak, right? Accept it. This is, if you trade like this, you can easily switch bias if you get wrong, right? How many times in honey drip have I gotten in something and be like, guys, this, I think I did that meta spy a few times, like lately, last month or so, right? You can get in a trade and something doesn't like align, and you feel like it's getting too top heavy. A lot of people like following like the herd, like they just like go in with the same kind of mindset, my bias and whatnot. Sometimes that could be the exact opposite of what market wants to do. You can easily switch if you have very strict levels, and otherwise you won't be able to switch bias. Okay, so just follow levels. Market proves you wrong, get out. But if it gives you another opportunity, re-enter, but don't fight it. That is how you kind of maintain conviction and holding positions as well as being disciplined. Nice. I was shorting Apple until you longed and switched right away. Yes. How many contracts are you in a status? It depends, man. It depends on what stock I'm trading, what time of the day, how much I'm up on the day, right? So it really matters on a lot of things and how much I'm up on the week. So if my risk tolerance is a little higher, I will go like a little bit more heavier, and it also depends on the confidence of my setups as well. So depends on a lot of factors. I never go in with the same size all the time. I always adjust based on a lot of big things. Trading you set up is an edits, man. Augustine Jones. I'll release it this week for sure. Thanks for asking. I will definitely release it this week. I just want to like do a few more edits, and once that's done, I'll release it. It should be a good video. Ariel, once I release that video, okay, you can also see that. I'll go over the indicators that I use, how I set my charts, and I'll cover all of those things. What stocks do you tend to choose or pick? How do you pick your game plan? For the most part, my trading ideology is just getting direction right. So meaning I have to read the trend, I have to read price action, momentum, the tape, everything, combine that, put it together, and decide if SPY is going to go up or down, market's going to go up or down. And then I pick a name that aligns with that bias direction. That's it. In my opinion, personal opinion, strategy is just a small portion of your trading. A lot of people put too much emphasis on strategy, thinking, oh, this strategy is the best, that strategy is the best. But it's all about getting direction right. I'll ask you guys a question. So today, Friday, before market opened, if I told you, hey guys, swing Tesla calls, Monday we're going to get a big gap update, right? So today market opened, I tell you Tesla's going to go on a rip like 5-6%. I gave you the stocks name, I told you the direction. So why do you need like crazy strategy or anything? You don't need anything, right? All you had to do was just buy Tesla and you would make money. Why is that? It's not like I needed some crazy strategy or anything like that. Strategy is just the means to enter a trade. You need to get the direction right. You need to get the stock, trade the right stocks. As long as you do that and you practice good risk, you are guaranteed for success like 70% of the time. Now, strategy is necessary so that you don't buy the top, or you don't buy a swing high, right? So if you buy, like for example, if your entry on Apple is at 199 here, maybe this $1 drop would stop you out. But if you entered Apple here, you would never be stopped out. Okay, so strategy matters so that you don't be. It's just a logical point area to buy. That's why I always buy dips. I'll never commit risk on a like a on a high. It's just common sense on where you should buy, right? And that's about it. And then you practice risk management to make sure that you don't over leverage. That's it. So this is the recipe for success on any trades. Just get direction right, stay on the right side of the grain, and you'll be fine. How do you choose strike? That's you just stay close to the money. That's it. Don't complicate all of that. That's totally unnecessary. No need to complicate all of that. Just stay close to the money. Stay close to the implied range for the day. If you're trading Meta moves plus or minus $10. Stay within that. Netflix, same thing, $10-15 range. Stay close to that. Monday to Wednesday, you can be a little maybe one or two strikes out of the money, but Wednesday onwards, stay closer to the money. Correct. And also, so as Javi just asked me if Apple was a good level. Apple was a good level because it had higher squeeze potential, right? It has higher squeeze potential, and everyone probably thought that, oh man, its Apple is relatively weaker. I'm going to go short it. But the general grain was by holding everything was going to rip. So Apple being heavily shorted, it had like this clear and obvious 200 level. So it would have been a very nice entry. And assuming if it broke 200, which it did, it could have resulted in a big squeeze. And that is what I was anticipating. And that's why I said the contracts didn't move as much well here. But the moment we started reclaiming this 199, contracts absolutely started dripping. Even though we had weekly contracts, they did like 65-70% here on just this one move. Okay. Yes, this is not a delayed move. It's called a cyclical algo. So cyclical algo, basically what that means is, so you guys saw Spice chart, right? Right. So Spice chart basically presented no real pullbacks. All you had to do was trade with the momentum and trend, right? Now, typically on Apple, if I could do a side by side comparison on Apple, right? Look at this, right? So Apple at the same time when SPY was ripping, pulled back. Right now, typically, what would people think? Oh my God, Apple's pulling back. Let me just short this. It's going to correct. It's going to sell. But SPY kept going up. So if you take a look at some names that moved with SPY, they started pulling back when SPY made this secondary move. But Apple, on the other hand, moved with SPY. Right. So what that means is the algos that were used today to prop up this move, right? They were turned on for the buy side. For Apple, for Meta, and a few other names, that is what made SPY move. So people who thought that, oh man, I'm going to watch Apple, I'm going to short this, I'm going to short at 588, 589, they all got wrecked. Right? So you can't do that. So if you don't know how like the tape moves or what kind of a grain it is, you're going to be getting caught in those like obvious retailers trap. And you can't do that. So today was the moment market opened, I realized that it was going to be a steady state day. And all you had to do was buy the trend. Okay? This was an extra knowledge for you guys. Okay, hit the like button, guys, if you guys are just in. It'll help me with the algo. I want to see a lot of likes. You guys, close to 200 people are here. On breakout trades, you always wait for the breakout or wait for the pullback. It's all about levels, RMJ trades. So if a breakout, you have a level, the level holds, you're in the trade, otherwise it's out. It needs to be black and white. Okay, what you guys don't want to do in a breakout trade is you enter a breakout trade and you see the level don't hold. Don't keep moving your level and adding and hoping it will work. You need to cut your loss quickly and maybe you can re-enter later, but don't keep like doing stuff. Like for example, I'll show you guys Tesla today, right? So Tesla 350 level here. Okay, so this was the pre-market high. Okay, which is exactly 349.80. This was a very straightforward trend. Okay, opening bell, very strong print, retest, holding here. Now, if this level didn't hold, maybe you can have a stop loss right here, right? Maybe $1 risk. $1 risk was probably on a breakout is going to be like 15% plus, maybe 20% even, because of the way contracts are priced. Because everyone starts selling on a failed move, it would have been bad. So we got that wick here. So once you got that wick, you could have entered anywhere on these wicks here and have a 50 cent to $1 risk and then take the trade. That's it. Now, what you don't want to do is keep holding on the level of it breaks, because once it breaks, you are most likely to see more a lot of traders stop out, and you can't keep holding. If you do, you'll take a big loss. Okay? Yes, hopes and dreams. Honestly, a lot of people trade on hopes and dreams. You shouldn't. Okay? When is the next mentorship? I don't know, man. Just the link is in there in the bio, so you can just sign up and join to the wait list. I don't know when I'll do it. Maybe a few months. We'll see. Honestly, right now I'm kind of focused on trading, so it's uh, it's a time you want to put on risk and make money. So we'll see. If there is time, I'll do it. So just join the wait list, and you guys will hear from me if I do it. What do you think Spy will do tomorrow? I think Nvidia is going to be there. So today we had a big move day. So today honestly was so easy. So tomorrow we have to wait and see. I don't expect crazy moves today. So today we had a $12 range, $12 move on Spy, 2% day. So tomorrow, ideally, we want to see this. Ideally, we want to see a gap up day, and then we can take it down. But we'll see what happens. It's too early to tell. Okay. How much capital did you start with trading? I mean, I started trading equity. I had a 3K account. I started trading penny stocks, so it's not really comparable right now. But if I were to start today, I would want at least a 5K account for trading options. Not doing that for, if you want to day trade options, you at least need 5K account. With a 5K account, with, if you're really good at your stock selection and you're like good at your trend and like other strategy and whatnot, right? You can really flip a 5K account to 25K plus in a few months if you're really about it. Okay, make a couple of $100 a day, do it consistently for a couple of months, and then increase size slowly. Then a month or so, you'll be able to get above PDT. Okay. But under 5K, honestly, I will just rely on maybe swings. You do maybe put some leap accounts, slowly build your account, and then like get into day trading. If you're day trading with like $1,000 account, I'm going to be realistic. It's, you may get like a few wins here and there, but the one trade you're not going to be disciplined. You are going to blow your account. It's difficult. So get your money up and then slowly build with swings and whatnot. And then once you get above 5K, if you have a solid system, you can easily grow. Okay. What was your 9 to 5 job before? I was a data scientist, man. And honestly, it was not related particularly to trading, but I did a lot with data and whatnot. How often do this EMA Insta buy algos? Insta buy algos? I don't know what that means. Oh, you're talking about the other one. I mean, you can clearly see it on the tape when there's big gap down days or gap up days. You either will have two scenarios. One, the move is going to be completely given up, or they're going to just have a like switch up grind day. Getting a degree is worth it. Yes, 100%. You, it's better than having nothing. Especially if you're in a field related to science, mathematics, and whatnot. You're better off with a degree than whatnot. Although you can get, if you're really good at what you do and be one of those crazy guys, you could get a job. But so you're talking about the 1%. For everyone else, it's better to have a degree. How much would you risk on each trade for that 5K account? Honestly, if I'm trying to make $300 per trade or $400 per trade, your risk should not be more than that. Okay. So if I make 10 trades, let's say I make 10 trades using that account, my risk is, let's say, $400. Okay. So that means every trade I'm trying to make more than $400. Okay. So let's say I only meet my risk, right? So meaning like 8 trades I make $400 gains. Okay. So that's fine. So 2 trades that I lose 400 as well. So you'll be fine. Assuming you have a good stock selection process and everything, you'll be fine, and slowly your account will grow. But that's kind of what you want to base it off of. It's about how much you, it's not about how much size you lose, it's about how much you're risking. Okay, and I would not risk more than 10% of your account in any trade, right? It should be less than 10% ideally, and the more your account grows, your risk should be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, risk is different from position size. I hope by now, after attending so many of these videos, you guys can understand that difference. Position size is irrelevant, how whatever you're comfortable with, but your risk should be defined. Okay, and don't let it be more than 10% and of your account. Is news and tweets affecting technicals? News supersedes technicals. Technicals is just bullshit. Okay, news, momentum, they are far more important. No one buying millions and billions of dollars are drawing little lines on their chart. Okay, Nancy Pelosi doesn't have a better return than us because she's a good technical analyst. Because she has the news, she knows where the money is flowing, she knows when to buy, she knows when to sell. Understand this. We make sense of technicals in a day trade. We use technicals to make sense of what's happening so that we can control our risk. But that's not what moves the market. That's not what moves the market at all. All right. What did they say Friday? Oh, EU tariffs. Weekend, what happened? Oh, we're moving it 30 more days. News. You could be like, oh man, I'm going to swing puts Monday, we'll limit down. We didn't. So last week, whole week, everyone was like, oh, it's just the end of the world. It's just 1980. None of that matters. Okay, news. You can clearly see who's buying, selling every day. That's why day trading is better, right? You can clearly see what the grain is and then follow that, follow where the money is. You don't have to catch the whole move when you're trading. Use technicals to get good entries, catch piece of the move, and then trail your rest, right? And that's the beauty of what we do. Okay. Do you read the tape and level 2 for each trigger you're watching? I watch SPY religiously and whatever setup that I'm taking. That's it. I have up to 3 windows for watching level 10 tape. Okay, if that answers your question. Maybe max 3. I cannot do more than that. Guys, if you're just joining, please hit the like button, guys, and I appreciate it very much. Let's see. These are good questions. Keep them coming, guys. Yeah, another thing about like 9 to 5 and everything, right? Do not quit your job, right? Do not quit your job. It's just another source of income. You will trade much better, especially in your starting days when you have cash flowing in and you're not worried to make some monthly gains, right? So when you're trading, a gain is not guaranteed end of the month. Some months you'll do well, some months, especially when you're starting out, you can't guarantee. When you're trying to build your account, you really can't afford to withdraw from that account. Does that make sense? So you're trying to get above PDT. It's like you literally, your ability to make more money depends on it. Okay, so you can't really like say that, hey, I'm going to quit my job, I have a 5K account, I'm going to just like wing it. You can't do that, right? Your goal, honestly, I'll tell you this. First 10K is hard, but the first 100K is the big milestone, right? I repeat this all the time. No matter what you do, try to get to that 100K. Okay, once you get to that 100K, that means you have proved that you have a track record and you have some kind of semblance of consistency to make trading work. You can easily get 30 to 50K a month, even being conservative, if you have a 100K plus account. Okay, and once you get that, have like 6 months, 1 year, maybe even 2 years of the same kind of consistency, you'll definitely have like more than $500,000 to your name at that point. Then if you want, you can quit your job. Until you get that little bit of insurance, don't do it. It's just not worth the stress. And honestly, a lot of people, even a lot of younger traders that I know, when market is good, they'll all make money. Anyone can make money today. Honestly, everyone I know probably is green. Their long term is green, day trading is green, everyone's happy and cocky. Tomorrow market throws a curveball, they'll give it all back, right? So it's super easy to get cocky and complacent when an easy day like this happens. Okay, today was so easy, right? But the real talent is first when there is like a curveball thrown by a market. Can you survive that? And the good traders will not only survive, but they'll be able to make their daily whatever gain they're supposed to make. The newer traders, those who are complacent, they'll not only end the day red, but they'll give up whatever money they made when the market was easy. Do not be that guy. Okay? Be You need to find consistency in choppy days, in trending days, in reversal days, and on days when we're not supposed to trade, meaning those are the days you should be risk off and cash. If you can manage that, or you need to be able to experience like at least a year and a half, maybe in 2 years worth of price action to experience all these days and then to come out on top, then you are my friend, you are ready for to do this full time. Until then, you got to just stay in the game, survive the game. The longer you stay in the game, the chances of you becoming a successful trader increases. If you go on a tilt and blow up, then you won't live to fight another day. Okay, so be very disciplined. Don't let good days make you cocky. Okay, today was a very easy day. Not every day will be like this. All right. What has been your relative drawdown? I've lost more than 50K, 60K per day, man. Edwin Morris. It is just part of the game. But my days are also equivalent, so that's the biggest I have lost on a day. So honestly, Edwin, like it's all about the risk, right? Even when you go on get a red day and whatnot, you have to make sure that you're not losing like something crazy, right? It needs to be parallel or something close to what you make on a day, right? So if on average, let's say hypothetically, you make 500 a day, okay? Even on your worst red day, you can't lose more than $1,000. Okay, that's 2 days worth of your green days. Okay, on average, if you make 500, you should not, that no matter what, like lose more than 1,000. Okay, honestly, if you have problems with discipline and whatnot, maybe you have hard rules coded into your trading platform to close out your broker application or liquidate all your positions when you're down that much. Because a lot of people, uh, um, I will challenge you guys on this. Okay, you can comment yes or no. Okay, go back to your previous years of trading, your past years. Okay, go back to your losing days, and I'm most particularly talking about your big losing days. All right, um, do one thing: delete that losing day and make it into a $500 winning day. Okay, see how much different your year to end P&L is. Right, just take your biggest red days, like maybe 5 or 6 biggest red days, turn that into a green day or a break even day, and see what your end result is. You will be green, maybe even like ending the year big. Okay, the reason I'm saying this is because most traders, especially the new ones, don't have a winning problem, they have a losing problem. Okay, so what I mean by that is when the market's easy and good, every Tom, Dick, and Harry will make money. They'll say, "Oh man, I'm up 100%, I'm up 200%, I'm up this much, whatever." But when the market is bad, they don't want to say that they don't want to admit they're wrong. So instead, what they do, they just keep, "Oh man, I'm just going to keep holding. Let me sprinkle in a 5 more contracts. Let me sprinkle in 10 more contracts. Let me keep holding. I'll average down. Oh, let me just swing this. Let me just swing this. Oh, 1 more day, 2 more days. Oh, are you still in this, that?" They'll just do this. Put on me if you've done this. And then instead of taking a $200 loss, now they're married to a position, they're taking a 2K loss. Right? Average day is $500, but you're taking a 3K, 4K loss. Right? So now, not only did you give back a day or two's worth of gains, you gave back a week worth of gains, 2 weeks worth of gains. And with that, you're taking a big psychological hit because you can't breathe now because you lost half your account. Right? So, how do you recover from that? If you take a normal 1 day's worth of gains, you'd be like, "Oh man, I just lost yesterday's gains. Let me just come back and take, I don't know, some spike calls and make some money back." But if you lost a week worth of gains, 2 weeks worth of gains, that's like a month worth of, half a month worth of results. You just boom, gave it back, right? The next day you come in, you're gonna still feel that maybe you get revenge trading, and then you just try to make it back in one trade, and then you lose more. I've seen this happen. I've done this. Okay, so it's so easy to just like do stupid things when your brain's all fuzzy and you're not full of confidence. Okay, a lot of people have done this. You may not admit it, but I know you have done this. Okay, you have done this. I know you have. Okay, whoever's on live today. All right. So the best thing you can do is, as a reference point, ask, go back to your trade journal and see what your average winning day is. Okay, 2x that, you can't lose more than that. That's your hard down limit. All right. So if your average winning day is 500, you can't, at no matter what, lose more than $1,000. Okay, as long as you stick to this one rule and your win rate is decent and you're not a crazy like trader, you'll be fine under the year. You'll be green. Okay. This is a very important rule. I religiously follow this rule, and in fact, I'm more strict than that. I don't have like 2 days worth of gains. I usually stick to setups. I usually just follow my risk. But on the one day that I go tilt, right? I think I had one of those days I posted like last week or something. I was up to close to 10K, and I had two bad trades. I lost 3K on Tesla, and then I think I lost like 2K or 2.5K on Netflix. So I was up 10K, and I gave back like half, more than half. That's so unlike me, but that was one day that most recently, and I still remember that because that was unlike me. I remember that, and I gave back like more than half, and I was like, it felt shitty, even though I ended the day with 3K or something. It still felt like a shitty day, right? So you got to be very careful, even when you're green, especially when you're green. That's when you can be complacent. So be careful, right? All right. Let's see more questions here. What's the time? Okay. Oh wow, we're already at time. I'll just do two more questions and then we can call it, guys. Hit the like button, guys. If you guys are here, a lot of people are here. I appreciate you guys for joining. Hope you guys are learning a lot from these lessons here. Um, I'll try to do a pre-market webinar also post Nvidia earnings. Okay, maybe that's Thursday morning. Let me try if I can. Let me see if I can do a pre-market webinar also, so we can do that. Um, Do you trade futures? Not really at the moment. I do have an account with futures set up, but I don't really trade it that often. There's no reason for me to try to trade everything, guys. This is also something I'll advise. I see some people like, oh, I'm going to trade options now, and then evening I'm going to trade futures. At night I'm going to trade futures, and then morning I'm trading futures, and then options again, then equity. You're going to burn out. Stick to one thing. It's all about making money, and you don't need to do everything to make money. If you're really good at what you do, like trade with size, define risk, catch one good setup, call it a day. Don't go trying to catch everything in the market. Only rookies and noobs will do that. Try to catch everything, trade options, futures, this and that. Is just stick to one thing. If you're day trading, do one thing and then make money. That's it. Nothing wrong in trading futures. Just if you're doing futures, just do futures. Don't do futures, don't do options, then mix it all up and then, you know, like go through a lot and then the head. Need money for SVJ. I mean, just scale up. Once you make money, you can scale up and you can just do one thing and make money. Honestly, today is like, I mean, today I don't know how many people like try to short the market, but as long as you didn't do that, it was easy to make money even on future side. All you had to do was buy here and then, you know, keep moving stops. Honestly, futures probably was easier to trade because all you had to do was just move your stops. Game the CEO. That's awesome, man. 17 to 21. Uh, you are way ahead than many people. Okay, you can just keep it up, and one day you'll be very good. What EMS do you use? I will drop that video this week, guys, for sure. Okay, by this weekend you will have that trading view set up full video for you guys. So I'll explain all of that. Netflix is coming. We'll Netflix and chill maybe Wednesday after. Mm, any other questions? Let me just see. What EMAs? EMAs, I have the moving average cloud, man. You can just look up the Ripsters EMA cloud, and you can just like have it in your chart. Any other questions? I don't see any. All right, guys, and then let's call it. Have a good night. Lots of interesting setups. Hopefully, market holds. We will kill it again tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens Nvidia after hours. Have a great night.